on Killjoy, and the meta currently, you need Sentinels who can absolutely frag out on their own and anchor down a site, and Crow hasn't put a recon bolt, and I like this adjustment from ZETA. They say, okay, so much of this was dumped, and because they know there were at least 2, if not 3 people most likely through with that setup, they're going to push all the way out to Link. I like it. The post plant's not bad. Now they have the chance to wrap around.
But the question is, how do you hold this now? I mean, you are forcing your opponents to push into you, to push into the B site, and you are fully heavily positioned around A Link. I like that 10 is wrapping around, but this is going to be a big firefight. Aftershock, Ether ready, and Dep just throws it out for security. RRQ are waiting for this, and 10, no, the flank is gone.
Yeah, I mean, they just baited him in. They tapped it so early. They drew the paranoia as well, and they're already sticking the defuse.
And it's just frenzies too. Way too low HP. Last cannot survive our power. Now second round, you've got 3 Bulldogs, Will, and they are just watching the angles, tempting, toying with fate. ZETA,
look at this
still
ult, right?
pushing up front. No!
I mean, at this range, the Spectre's gonna kill them all. They've all been chipped down by the shock dart and even the full-out Sugar Zero.
Well, I mean, if he's just stunned and concussed, you know, without moving, his shooting is still relatively accurate, so simple. So RRQ has a lot more map control right now, and ZETA kind of has to force the issue. The thing is, they have to be so aware of the positioning from RRQ towards a lobby. Flips and Xpharaoh are in such a prime position to find the sprays. A double kill coming out from Xpharaoh, and this entire A-side aggression has been stopped.
RRQ's game plan today is just constantly force them out of A site. Do not let them enter A. We will always have a new setup on B and C. And they're always just gonna force the issue with the Hunter's Fury as well. They want to keep the solo going.
And I guess 10 just didn't expect that site again. And you still have this presence coming out from Xpharaoh. He has the options, and RRQ are just waiting for this to come through. It's gonna be full-on close-range battles, but RRQ, Xpharaoh! A quad kill out of nowhere, and he just sprays them down!
No, not like this. I mean, I predicted RRQ, but ZETA, you cannot kick off your LCQ Pacific run like this. I know it's an eco. Yes, the round in theory is supposed to go to RRQ, but the biggest problem is this Sova on the opposing team just used his Hunter's Fury in round 3 and is about to get it in round 5, all right? He's about to get it in the next round if he does just as well, so this is not looking good.
4 points away from the next Hunter's Fury, and also, I mean, bear in mind that was the bonus round being won. Now another one. Such a big win, too. This is huge momentum, a big surge of confidence for RRQ. Now they're starting to peek out a little bit more. They're starting to go hunting, and Xpharaoh wants his ace. And he's gonna get it.
It didn't happen, but I hope to see more of that. And currently, C-Site is most likely never mind.
Wow, he just holds the off angle. Perfect shots coming out from Elmimore and flips. And now ZETA down to 2 players left remaining. Crow tries to make a play outside from Garage, but without the numbers.
That operator, right? They have that nano swarm where it might be waiting, things like that. They're trying to shove them all the way back in.
Good fall line.
Yeah, this is fine. We'll have to wait to see if it actually leads to a potential thrifty.
Well, they do start things off jumping into the Nebula. Crow will be able to get the first. However, Flip's still on the other side. Thankfully, they swarm him down. It is going to be a trade. EJ's going to be watching the angle with his operator, but they have the spike planted. At the same time, keep your eyes on Laz's position on the minimap, because he's got some, maybe one shock dart lineup. As long as they can hold down this position, they managed to pick up some weapons as well. They should be able to make this happen, but Elmimore will drop down. He gets traded off by Dep, 2GE now. 1 on 3, goes for the first peek, and suddenly 2 positions have been revealed to him. This is not impossible. Sneaks into hell, tries to drag them back down, but Laz peeks out, single tap to the head.
Operator player, but he's breached. He needs to use his utility. We'll have to wait and see.
Good flick. That's the way to start things off with the C split onto the C side. 2GE cannot back out. Showstopper will connect and flips. Everyone else just hovering around C Link. Crow with the positioning on window as well. It's gonna have to be a save from RRQ, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, at this point, right, repositions for his utility to actually execute onto the site a little bit closer, which is exactly, this might sell the fake even more. Right, the Odin and the operator, they're like, surely no one's actually pushed out off of this.
No way you jump out of window off of that one. 10, okay. Blast packs into safety, now they're kind of aware. But then again, this limits your options. Because of this mid presence, you're gonna have to be so careful with how you want to go back towards A. You can't do that. You're gonna have to go through C this time. And 10, trying to step up. He will be able to flick around, get flips off. Doesn't know that xFaro's still around window though. Rolling Thunder execute onto the C site. Can they get 2G, who is anchoring it down? He managed to kick down Depth. The Hunter Tree will connect, but still, this is a 2-on-2 with a defending lockdown in place. EJ peaks going to be a lot more difficult because of his firepower, because of the positioning. Both teams trying to contest for A long control.
Yeah, they even gave over the operator because they didn't want to drop it. So RRQ meant to play aggressively here. However, they do drop EJ. So this draws in Flipsider. And again, a reminder, he has an operator. I think you might even switch to the rifle if you're going to stick around here.
Wow, and the reaction on that too. So operator now picked up. xFaro finds another frag. ZETA's attacking forces are weakened, and Sugar Zero, I guess, trying to make some heroics of his own. It's gonna get taken out. 2 players left. Still gonna have to try to go for a spike plant, but the retakes will look good for RQ.
Yeah, I mean, the post plant scenario is so rough if you go into B side, but that's pretty much where you're gonna have to plant the spike in. They will give over the plant itself, it does look like. I mean, you're not full health on ZEFiro. You weren't all quite ready for B side. The turret's cleared though. I like this idea from ZETA. They do have to push out.
Ooh. And they are going for it. Flips trying to hold them and buy them off. And he does manage to get their attention away for a second. Let's see, Crow can pull off some heroics off his own, but nah, it's not gonna happen. 2GE, slightly crispier on the aim, and it's gonna be RQ still in the lead. Trying to make use of their current buy, however,
No!
EJ, still, this is his thing. He's so unpredictable, suddenly peeking out a garage this time.
And a double peek as well? You saw the raise and you peek back out. I mean, ZETA, they didn't quite expect that. They put up the turret just to check, but they didn't think he'd swing out again off of the turret.
And now if you're pushing into C, like, you gotta be aware that he could be backside. That's why they're spending utility just to clear this out. However, look at the position from RQ. They're already setting up for the retake.
Yeah, but you can tell ZETA, they're rushed, right? They don't wait for the plant to go down for the lockdown, so RQ does get a couple extra seconds, which means, ZETA, you're gonna have to regain control of a bit more of the map. I'm not so quite sure about the C-Link push, but Garage should be good enough.
Well, if they can hold down these forward positions, it would be good. However, the blades and then the trade from Elmi Moore. 10 still hovering outside of window. He's been discovered. Crow! The lineup on double tap. And Elmi Moore pushes out of garage. He's trying to kick them down, but Sugar Zero says no. Flips. He's going to try to make use of his flank. However, footsteps have been heard. All it comes down to is the shots now, and Aftershock will be spent to flush him out of position. Crow goes in for the crouch, and Flips puts the nail in the coffin.
Time?
I think so.
Wow. The remainder of the half, but RQ's 4v5 conversions also have to be pretty good so far here on this Haven.
I think they could do it. Elmi Moore just dancing back and forth between the covers. xFaro peeking out of C-Link. And Depths alone. Sure, he's got a Bulldog, but you got 5 targets to hit.
Well, boy, do you wish you were Jet now with your Blade Storm, let me tell you that much, because if it was, we could say, okay, maybe Depth can make a miracle happen.
More just to maybe take him out. Paranoia will be sent out early, and with all this space, they should, and then they will be able to get the A site. However, xFaro is just hiding here.
No, they have to pitch this. They have to pitch this. No! They don't wait for Crow. Crow eventually gets it, but oh my goodness, you already lose one and the lockdown's pushing them all out.
Raids, 10 has to hold. He will be able to get the first. However, the lockdown pushes them away, and without the positioning, Laz and Crow, even with Shock Dart lineups, Elmi Moore's just sticking it all the way through. Oh, RRQ, and
you have to let it go. But hey, if they win the pistol, anything can happen.
they're throwing out utility pretty early on, and look at this gravity well placement from 2GE. Frenzy up close, he's gonna find one and then hides back in, not quite committing until his teammates arrive for help, and Elmi Moore will be the guy to assist. Double kill coming through now, and that leaves us with Depp. He's got one flashpoint, the spike not yet planted, so he could make some momentum plays off of this.
They're gonna keep their distance.
Pushed up into a position, but yeah, that's right.
They know it's a frenzy.
And Elmi Moore has a ghost, and he has been sharp on it. Fault line has been covered from cooldown.
They don't know.
To the peak. Oh, look at this sneaky play. And now he's inching up a little bit closer again. Frenzy versus Frenzy. Flips.
You gotta reload. You have 2 bullets. Oh my god. At least
only left with Laz to kind of fortify the A side. He's going to hide inside the dark cover, which is nice, but how do you hold off against these rifles coming through?
I mean, they gotta close the gap. You're running with Stingers and Spectres. You have to close the gap. You cannot create more distance. I mean,
they're falling back.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just sped through the smoke too, Will. Oh God. RRQ now just trying to waterfall in one by one, bit by bit. Depth falls, and then we've got Crow.
I mean, this is, listen, I actually think Crow's aim has gotten a lot better since he's on that Killjoy, a bit more autonomous. He just can set up his utility, doesn't have to worry about lineups, you know, on things like the recon bolts or other agents that he's been playing throughout the season. But this round, it's rough, right? You're on a retake on A site on Haven with a Stinger against 4 people who have rifles. So this one's probably gone. But okay, match point comes up. What do you do after that? Let's think ahead. You never want to completely give up. And you have to start to think, we're going to have to forest buy again. The singular initiator on a Sky or something, and they could make that work. But yeah, so see, RQ, they take the chance. They just say, hey, it's a bonus. We upgrade to a couple of rifles. Let's just go to B site, because that's what they're not going to expect.
Okay, there is a little bit of a stack from ZETA, but it's closer towards the C site. And however, 10 peeking out of A Link by himself, he's going to get picked off. Crow does have a judge. So maybe working together as a team to flood down the site, they might be able to get a little bit more space. But look at RQ's positioning. As soon as the spike goes down, they're falling all the way back because they know they have the range. And all they got to do is to spray and pray. Hello, Jesus. It's going to be Sugar Zero getting a little bit more. However, EJ, the Lord.
Look. All right, so first of all, I want to give all the credit in the world to RRQ here. Phenomenal prep, the way
against Global Esports yesterday. So I feel onto a new story. It's going to be split, and we already have RRQ just walking into A Heaven. Left unchecked, mind you. Depp kind of trying to react, but not in time, and this is the A set completely cracked open.
This is RRQ just having a read. This is RRQ just absolutely having a read. They see the screen, and they say, okay, we're going to take over Heaven. If we see no opposition, then we go to screens. If we saw opposition, they would have potentially gone through vents. But they know that if no one's peeking right away in ramps, if no one's on Heaven, if no one's watching from the site, you surely have someone on screens on the pistol round. Now it's about this 3-man flank.
And Flips is waiting for it. Kind of knows and goes for the first pick. Will be able to take them down. Banks Crow down to 10 HP as well.
Sugar Zero.
Coming out from the other side. Up around screens now, on towards Heaven. Zafira comes in to take Flips' place.
Whoa.
But because of this wall, oh, he still turns around. He gets a shot anyway. Sugar up from Heaven trying to land with the frenzy, but the range is not there.
Better for ZETA to not pick this fight right away here. They do get spotted, but yeah, they want to draw them in. They want them to commit to B site.
Oh no. But then they just peek out of the dark cover anyway, Will.
Get hit. Oh, there's still the trade angle here from Zafira. He's so good on those trades.
I mean, look at what RRQ are doing. Just tiny bit of aggression, pull back. Tiny bit of aggression, pull back. And ZETA keep buying into it. Now 2 players left, and they have no choice but to go for fights. But RRQ, at this point, they've got numbers.
Yeah, and Elmi Moore, during all of that, he was already wrapping around, right? They checked to see if anyone was in sewers. No one had pushed out that far. Elmi Moore went all the way around spawn, so they had this backup plan ready. And I love that you mentioned that they're just trying to bait out these fights, because here's the thing. That was one of RQ's biggest mistakes during the season, is they kept overheating, and Depp can't even find a singular kill in this round.
I mean, just trying to find an opening, but it's not meant to be. With the Sheriff still, I mean, look at the RRQ positioning on this map right now.
Blocks of frags, he knows that they bought those rifles. They are going to be bunched up, but he tries to pre-fire the core. Well, they know it's
curtain fall.
They do know it's B though, right? The Trailblazer cleared A as well, so they have the information. It's just the weaponry that they're lacking.
Rotating back around now. But look at RQ. I mean, just fanning out across all the sites, coming back into Fortified Garage as well.
It's really all about this garage fight. If ZETA can pick off a kill here,
ooh,
they get the right start.
Crouch peeking into it too. Elmi Moore though, off the paint shells, he pushes further in. The snake bite burns down last. He swings out, will be able to find a headshot, but gets traded anyway. Good bit of damage from ZETA, and if they can keep this up, maybe even a little bit better. However, Flips is standing between them and the site. So using the Nebula now just to create a bit more space, Sugar Zero jumps in. He's got close range weapons, taps onto the spike and pulls out the firepower.
Great bait from
Crow
Zeta.
now coming in, but still with a Phantom. Xpero could just spray. Flips is here to help him out as well. And that's gonna be the trades to bring RRQ over on the operator now. Surely it's gonna be a lot better. He spots a shoulder and fires off a shot, but runs back as well.
Yeah, no tag.
Presence known though, but look at RRQ, they're just rushing in anyway. Sugar Zero instantly taken off.
Do they know where Depp is? Okay, he's just gonna back right out. I thought maybe he risks it by trying to bunker down.
Oh my god, EJ. And just creating so much chaos in further space as well. The spike now kind of going down, but because it's been dropped and A side is clear. Oh, look at this, Xpero.
But this leaves Emin as the plant on the lurk. They're not quite sure if he actually crept out or not. They have no
Oh my
idea. There's
God.
2 lurks on this map right now.
And Flips is waiting for this. Finds Laz.
They have no idea about Emin now that they've seen Flips. Surely not. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Good
All right.
job, 10. He checks it, but now you kind of have to save, don't you?
You have to. You bought the operator. You have to. I mean, it took so long to get here without a round win. I know it sucks. I'm just going to say
Yeah.
it. You're on defense.
Further, so not too bad for Zeta.
Oh,
They
no,
get the
here it
whole
is. Here
thought
it
on
is.
his
Oh,
off.
the up is dropped.
Now making use of Elmi Moore's utility to sneak into the A site. Sure,
with
it's
the
been
judge.
made known. And there is
Oh,
the
no!
judge, but Les turns away at the last second. The timing, everything just doesn't favor Zeta today. And off towards elbow, Crow tries to make a play, but he's by himself. Xpero spots him, calls it out to Emin. And all they gotta do is to wait for the spike. Zeta needs to make a move, and because of this pressure, mistakes could be made. 10 fires off the showstopper. That's a good start. Depp coming out from heaven as well. Emin still holding from elbow though, and there comes Depp. 2-on-1, 21 HP, jumping up and top above. Zeta, they finally take a round.
Put this man on Jet every map. I don't care if it's bad on any of the maps. Quite frankly.
As such, they're gonna fall so far back.
Yeah, but the pit's available as well here from Elmimore. I mean, a lot available. Elmimore is
He
in
is
mid.
lurking.
But there's a lot of choices. Okay, they take out the Viper as well, so they know the pit has no chance of coming up on the site.
Which is okay, because I think presence and time has been bought now. As long as they can continue to delay Zeta, that should be good. Emin tossing out the paint shells, blocks off this pathway. However, 10 drops down from heaven and tries to pinch them from behind. Emin tries to continue holding, but gets traded by Sugar Zero instead.
But look
Down
at
to the
Flips.
last 2.
Oh, no,
Flips
he
coming up
gets
from
spotted.
behind. He's been spotted surely, but Xpero's still undiscovered, hiding outside a pillar. Laz comes up from below of hell, and Xpero trying to make some plays. The spike's been halved. He's running out of ammo, and the spike will be defused thanks to a stick from Sugar Zero.
Continue. They have some good ults ready to go.
Now let's see if we can even out the score, right? We're starting things off with paint shells down ramps. RQ still trying to go fast. However, speed it will not be the name of the game because Emin gets taken out. Paint shells, however, will connect onto Crow. And now they have this site.
Yeah, but now they know the spike is here in A.
Yeah, not quite planted. It's so far out that EJ has to go on the open to retrieve it, and Depp makes use of that opportunity. 10 comes in from behind as well, and despite the buys, it's gonna be a Zeta round.
Okay.
Still, I like that off the timeout they're going slow again. Elmimore kind of hovering around ramps, but Depp again on this operator is a sight to be held, and that's gonna be RQ with 1 player down early on.
Yeah, and it looks like...
Calls for the drop, and now he spots the barrel.
Oh no, now 10 has a chance!
Okay.
Okay.
That lurk finally comes out.
Yeah, and Depp, I mean, he is here, but it is going to be a bit of a risk. And here's the thing,
Flips.
RRQ don't risk going through main
30
because they
seconds
know the
left.
smoke's running out on screens.
No way.
They're faking it that they're going A because they already have stairs control on B. They know you surely call for backup off of those kills. And now you already have the lurk from Flips. Oh, he sees Astral Form!
Shot's been fired. However, Laz holds it down on the site. Denies the spike plant. RQ Flips coming back into it. Leaves Depp alone. Spike plant should go through, which means that
Spike
Depp
planted.
has to find these duels right now. Flips clears out the side of defender spawn.
Good drop, silent.
Drop. So he's not detected yet. They're still thinking perhaps heaven, definitely not pillar. And with this wraparound, if he can find Flips first without exposing himself, he'll make this doable. Spots the head.
With this, you have
Now
to know he's
looking
around the
for it.
corner.
Tailwind props. Oh, but LB more!
Wow.
So you're saying because Elmore didn't have a sheriff,
That's what it was. Yeah, it wasn't a sheriff or a guardian.
Whatever it is, still though, with the duelist still alive, EJ will be able to create that space for RRQ onto the A site, and Laz hightails out. Retake is getting set up, however, and they have the numbers. Xfero tries to get sneaky with his positioning, hiding outside top of Heaven. He's using his dark cover for a little bit more presence, but then the showstopper connects. Now space so well created. Xfero, can he make it happen? Oh, Dep with a 180 flick! And then Sugar Zero descends from the top of Heaven. ZETA, 4-5.
And I just want to say, I was holding my breath. I was really, really hoping that ZETA Division would use
to really find their wind. RRQ trying something a little bit different, however. The half buys, the rushes up from top of Heaven. EJ just dropping down, not quite landing on top of the box. It's going to be ZETA holding all the way from Garage, and the sprays will bring them the win.
ZETA answers back. A perfect read. This is where Depp is, and he still has things like the Blade Storm. Even if he gets pushed, he has backup as well in the form of Sugar Zero.
It wasn't even really a jump peek either. EJ, however, continues to push the pressure, and he will be able to find trades. RQ continuing to push off of that one pick now. They will be able to find more. ZETA trying to defend, trying to hold back, but Lips has been great on some lurks until Laz turns around on his head. Back in towards Garage. Laz has to clear back sight. He's not quite sure where this guy could be, and the dark coverage just blocks off so much. Could tap the fake, though. He's so patient. Wrapping around Pillar, buying a little bit of time. Laz, with the health advantage, manages to take down Xfero.
And this is the Laz so many fans wanted to see. Just ice cold focus to
Methodical, diligence. Now playing a little bit more defensive on top of Heaven. It's going to be the showstopper coming out from Emin, though.
And Laz is a judge. He purposely keeps a judge here for the last round. They had money to buy more rifles, but they know that there's the potential of the showstopper rush.
He's just hiding, waiting for the opportune moment. However, RQ, with this space up on top of Heaven, they have some options. They could take ropes back towards mid, but still pushing down Revs with the Seekers and the information as well. Laz has options now, swaps over, has an arsenal, tries to fire more shots, and he gets them all down. Xfero, the last one left alive. Can you pull off the heroics? Gets the first shot, but then Deb coming up from behind. Since map control blocking things off, now calling because of the stars. Rotations onto the A site. 10 rushes in, however, and Flips kind of caught out with utility in hand. Thankfully, Assistant comes out from the top of Heaven, but still pushing on through from Revs. Crow gets the trades. Now Laz out from behind, too. And EJ was none the wiser. Xfero, last one left. Same situation we saw before. He's got nothing but a frenzy, and unfortunately couldn't quite clear Laz coming up from above. To be that stack up on the A site. So B is completely open. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, you know, we're just gonna call it out because we did see the paint shows were a little sus going on from 10, but it did not matter. The site was empty. No damage done to your teammates either. But LB was gonna share it.
Nah.
All right. Nah, just drop it.
Teammate could pick it up though. Flips now has it. Still gonna be cautious now coming in from ZETA, but they managed to hold it down. Look at the positioning. Pillars, backside, Garage. It's gonna be tough for Xfero again, and he's the last one left alive.
Yeah, and let's just note how that post plant was played, right? They were making sure they were watching Alley from 2 angles. They were making sure someone was watching Heaven, and they made sure, even with the smoke, someone was hiding in Garage, so that if a flash came in, they would not be affected. They would always be able to pop out for the trade. All of this, really, really good fundamentals coming in from ZETA. And of course, Xfero, he's eventually just gonna die to the spike anyway.
Well, Star is completely placed out on the A site. 2 duelists dashing all the way in. Elmi Moore just trying to defend backside, but look at the utility dump on him. No way he escapes that. Trapped inside of jail. The rest of RRQ, though, trying to make this retake happen from Ramp, from Heaven. They're leading it with that pinch onto Laz. However, he stays alive with the Sakura Vandal, still being so sneaky with it. Backs up all the way. Emin goes in to check, and he just gets faced. Down to the last one. Xfero again, coming out from screens, 1v5. This is nigh impossible. Poison Cloud tossed at his feet, just for good measure.
Yeah,
he's gonna save.
Yeah, he's just gonna throw out the smoke just to make sure they don't push him too aggressively. He'll wait for a little bit, go for a little spam. As soon as he realizes they're still waiting for him, he's gonna try to run away. The Shadow step to make sure as well. Really? He's going to wait for this. He still is hungry for at least one exit frag.
Wow.
Close angle. It's a good mind game. If Laz reads this.
Does he just spray to check?
Right at the last second, surely. Surely. Oh! Crowd, so they're just going to try to stick with it. And they want mid control, but they're smoked off. All this Astro utility pushes them completely away.
Oh, EJ though kind of gets blinded and can't quite do too much. On the other hand, Elmimore will just hold down the mid side, triple kill for days. And because the spike has been secured, Viper's Pit will be deployed.
Oh my god.
All right, we're safe, we're safe.
Yeah, I was so scared there because he was like thinking about dropping right on the spike, and that's exactly what ZETA predicted. Listen, RRQ stacking in the pit because they really don't want to give away the spike, and I feel like this is dangerous.
Yeah. Oh my god. Now firing back through because the tracer bullets were seen. He drops it, wants to go for the ace! And
pinch as well.
Hiding up on top of this elevated position as well. Using the flash to try to escape, but ZETA forcing the numbers through with this. They only have 10 seconds left, Will. Showstopper at his feet. 10 blows himself up.
But everyone's here. Can they get the plant? They have to stick it
I
right
don't think
now.
they can. Emin continues to push through. EJ here to deny it as well, and he hears the footsteps. Crow gets off of it, and RRQ takes the round.
And the worst part, and that comes in so handy, another, it's the same set play, except this time it's a Jet instead of the Raze here in mid.
All right, and then we have Laz on the off. Depp is just creating so much noise, so much presence, but he falls back. Buys some rotations over, closer to B Heaven, but RRQ sensing, based off timing, going bad. They're rotating back to defend the ace height. Now ZETA cuts noise and hides inside of Mail. Watching the angles. Oh, RRQ gets curious. Flips, the flash has been dodged. Double kill coming in, and Ted finds the trade. So many wins now up to the side of B Heaven, and Elmimore, he just wants to fight this. Going for the crowd spams. He's gonna get taken out by the explosion instead. EJ with an operator of his own.
If he gets the kill, he gets the Blade Storm. That's what he's hoping for.
And they're aware of this too. Backing off from the toxic screen, you have one window of opportunity!
Oh, no!
Legged! Don't know if it's gonna be enough though. At the very least, this is just information, but then you're gonna have to play retakes afterwards. Oh my god,
no.
10.
The mind games from 10. This is the ZETA you want to see. The aggression, taking the initiative.
Just the confidence on this guy. Although RRQ and Elmimore are in position now on top of Heaven, somewhere outside of screens, they can't really close in the distance. EJ tries to hop over onto the other side, manages to pick up a Phantom, so this is not impossible.
It is doable, but look at Sugar Zero's position as well. He's so far out into Tsuris, he just doesn't want to get caught. And dead.
Getting the spray! Elmimore trades, and then Laz comes up. And still, Sugar Zero, like you mentioned, here's Elmimore. Now they're aware of his position. Laz is starting to go on the hunt again.
You absolutely do. I mean, you can buy back up. You want to make sure that they don't get credits piled up to try to catch up and go to overtime here. Because ZETA is about to go to map point. They're so close to taking us to a third map of Ascent, which they've always enjoyed.
They need to play safe because it's at match point. But because of this...
Okay, they check it.
All right, from the shadows. They could rotate quick enough, but here comes 10 with the party in his hands. He's gonna buy them away. Let the rocket fuse burn, that's okay, because all he needs is the spike plant. Now they are in position. Depp, first line of defense, upside of France. He takes down Flips. Sugar Zero still all the way inside of Sewer. Here comes Emin, and you also have Elmimore around ramp, but the shots aren't good. 10 is holding down Elmo along with his teammates. Last year to assist. First bit of defense down though. Oh my god, EJ all the way onto site.
He's trying to delay as long as possible. He popped it so late.
This is gonna be X-Sparrow. Watches the angle. Simple headshot to end off the round. 12-8 RRQ.
Waiting to see if it was a dissipate and then try to peek back out. It's not. So then he chooses to rotate. They hear the utility now coming into B.
And then you also have X-Sparrow waiting to receive this on the other side. Corner not checked. And that's gonna be the first pick for RRQ. Depp dropping into hell now. The rest of the team slowly making their way out of the garage, but Flips has been waiting in this one spot, getting taken out. Laz and Depp, they work it through. Sugar Zero dropping it. X-Sparrow with the Viper's Pit.
Showstopper available.
Oh, I don't know if it's gonna be good enough. He spots Crow, but blows himself up instead. Shorty is going to be the Elmi Moore now pushing outside, but Sugar Zero on the other side.
As they're cutting noise and getting ready for this execute, so I'll hold my thought.
Oh, Recon does go out, and EJ prepped up on top of Generator, tries to find something. Unfortunately, Recon was instantly shot out, and Sugar Zero is just waiting. Depp comes in with his Recon, and there it is, 10 finding the shots out from heaven. Triple kill, gets shut down. Sugar Zero still hiding underneath. He tracks them down. Around us, he picks up the Phantom. Depp!
Well, hey, it might not be breach, but he can still shoot through the wall, which is just about the same thing. That one doesn't go through.
But he connects the shot anyway, thanks to Laz's assistance. So much intel, and it's a...
Yeah, oh, and just a quick, like, Laz is online, my friends. The Laz we were all cheering for worldwide.
Almost connected.
Yeah, the Laz that was just yelling the nices at the top of his lungs. He seems to be returning in form.
Without the pressure again, right? Now back into it. X-Pharaoh trying to find whatever he can get, but it's going to be the shots.
Return to mid and B, so ZETA's playing this mind game so well at a macro level.
Still, it comes down to whether or not they can first secure this one. And with RRQ's rifles, they're trying to put a stop to it. Sugar Zero coming out from the window, takes down 2. Elmi Moore finds a couple of his own. Laz now hiding in the cyber cages. The trips are good.
And the bounce back in and out of his own cyber cage.
Waiting, looking for the Generator, gets the shot down. Last player left alive. Here comes Depp with the... Well, with EJ still around market though, he manages to create a little bit of chaos from this one spot. The rest of them trying to go through the Fender spawn now. Crow manages to slip in to assist Depp.
Oh no, they're all
still
stuck here.
On the other side of lane, Crow steps up, finds one headshot. The rest of them trying to go for the big rotation through to A.
Yeah,
Elmi Moore still on the site, takes down 1 and then gets traded by Depp.
I mean, overall, RRQ, the insurance plan of EJ in mid was so good for the long run, but they already lost 2 members, which they couldn't afford to do in this round. Now, surely, Depp, you try something here. You go for it.
These get ahead. Not quite.
Oh, but they're all punching up. He's got a Phantom.
He knows they're on the other side.
Oh, he gets one!
And it's a good place to watch as well because he could rotate quickly over to the A side if it's needed. Crow and Sugar Zero are the ones who are anchoring this down. And it comes down to whether or not they can take down a couple of players along with them. At the very least, this is a great read from ZETA.
Yeah, I mean, they're ready for it. They wait for the Odin to come along as well. The lockdown timing's very good from RRQ. It should buy maximum time. I don't know. ZETA almost makes it look like they want to jump in.
They've got some lineups. They broke down the lockdown. Now they're pushing all the way in. Look at this coordinator retake. Even shooting through the dark cover. 2GE almost gets the flick, but with the numbers advantage, Depp mows him down with the Odin.
Yeah, the paint shells. I mean, this is where the Rays actually...
In the moment. With the way that they're controlling the map, there it is, another wallbang. It blocks off B main. However, EJ decides to bypass all of that with the updraft and the tailwind straight into last. He picked up that Odin, tried to go in for the right click. Sugar Zero from the shadows just in the nick of time. He's on the site, he's playing around Boathouse, but he gets flashed. Oh, so much utility. Still gets a shot on X-Pharaoh. Back to a 2-on-2. Crow is on the scene, just right around the corner. Pops a flash. Tries to keep the Crows at bay. This Scarecrow on the site. Showstopper is available as well.
Absolutely, you just use it for time, make sure they can't push out.
And now you gotta think twice if you want to stick the spike plant or not. Ghosun on the other side, but 2GE on the edge of the dark cover, still alive. Doesn't quite land a shot, but Crow!
Oh my God. You have to clear this, make sure that some forces have to watch mid and that you create a crossfire going into the site. The question is Laz gonna peek out? He's got his cyber cages ready.
Oh, he's to sneak around.
They can't pinch on this. Laz's setup is so good.
Holding stairs, they pop flash. Elmi Moore gets the heads up duel. Then the reaction comes through. Although Depp fires off the Hunter Sphere, it's not good enough. 2 players coming up from ZETA trying to retake. 1 from main, 1 from spawn. And look at the positioning from RRQ as well. Everyone hunkered down. Flips
Oh, he saw
on
him.
the ledge!
Oh, Flips!
Trying to wallbang him.
I think Flips thinks he wasn't seen, he's just trying to live, and 10 thinks
Oh
he
my
would have dropped.
God! Well, he's got the blast pack, so he managed to get out for just a second. Everyone from RRQ is quite low, except for EJ. So this is not impossible for ZETA, but they're spending way too much time. At this point, I think it's just save and exit frags.
Yeah, the thing is ZETA knows they're trapped in the site, so they just want to try to force them to all even die to the spike, drop their weapons as well. And if 10 can get the first 2, it should be good.
Player standing.
They will get out alive.
Doesn't quite connect with the track to be impeccable. Bit of a flash with the paint shells as well. And then the peak comes out. A couple more. Sugar Zero finds one too.
The spike's down, by the way. They know this. They know that RQ has a pinch on him as well.
Oh, but here comes EJ! Getting a couple more shots and tailwinds. He's still alive. Unfortunately, the pressure is surmounting on Ascent right now. Changing up the positioning back towards the A site. The tripwires around this spot with Sugar Zero hiding around tree. He lets them through. Nanoswarm will burn, and RQ has the site.
Yeah, but Null Command is
Oh, there-
available for Crow. Oh, yeah. Listen, we praised him before for the 5v5 retake. Let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet.
I mean, I think he was trying to play off that cyber cage, thinking that he might have been hiding inside of it. But instead, the shots weren't that sharp, so we're going with speed instead. 10 now, blast packing offside of heaven. Managed to get one along with the rest of the team. RRQ just kind of getting blocked off by this null command from Crow. They have no choice but to stay tucked inside of some corners, and EJ, unfortunately pulling out the knives the last second, only able to get one. X-Pharaoh hiding on the other side of dark cover, just trying to spam through, but the spam from the other side is just a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much distance as well, so the spray really hard to try.
Any of these counter plans right now, they're doing the same thing outside of me. Oh, 10 with the double showstopper kill. Now Les holding down lane. Depp coming outside from stairs, reading them like a book. RRQ are completely stumped in their tracks.
This is RRQ clearly not having that much experience recently with the raises on Ascent, right? You oftentimes expect the Blaze Storm through the window, but not quite the showstopper coming out of B main right above you. From the heavens, it rains down, and you're already starting on a loss. And this is so good from ZETA. Again, you're so far ahead.
I mean, so much of it is this compounding
Oh my God.
presence being sent through because of initially
It's caught.
the delayed rotation coming out of 2GE and Flips though.
Well, so ZETA also expecting this lockdown, right? So they just say, let it happen. If they eventually try to break the potential trapwire mid, we have this lurk set up. But otherwise, I mean, look at the damage done.
Ooh.
EJ and Zephyro are pretty much dead.
And 10 still has his utility too. This is going to be one explosive retake. Starting things off with the recon from Deb 2G. Then what are you up to? Will it be enough? I don't know.
Will it be
but it
fast
starts
enough?
with 10. He comes in and clears out Boathouse. 3 of his teammates gone. Now this is a site quite clearly open, but okay, X-Pharaoh just tucks himself in the corner. 2GE now coming out from behind. Sugar Zero and the rest of Crow, they're quite aware of this, but trying to stick the defuse through. It's down to a 1-on-2. He managed to get a half, but as soon as he gets off of it, Flip confirmed that the site hit is about to hit on A. Henceforth, Sugar Zero is just hiding outside of Dice, but he gets cleared out by the Hunter's Fury. Dodges it with a shrouded step, though. So while RRQ can make it in, Sugar Zero as the gate guarding hell. Can he stay alive to anchor down the site?
They know
Crow
he's
got
there.
his, but RQ are trying to tag him down. He's been dinked. Depp up from the top of heaven. Nanoswarm cleared out, but then the shot comes through. Depp trying to flick on a dime, not quite able to connect the shot. It is all up to Laz now.
But with this man, you cannot count him out. We've seen him do wonders for ZETA Division when they needed it most. He's got that Sacro Vandal back once again.
He doesn't have util. He's getting caught up by the recon. So it all comes down to headshots coming out of heaven. Goes for the jump on Generator. And it's going to be the shot from hell that takes him in the back.
And then they're able to pinch.
And that's why they're sending so many players down A short just to check. EJ getting the first pick off though. Flips! Look at this double kill. Spamming the ghost away. He finds 2 heads. Depp trying to answer back from top of mid. The spike has been dropped. And although Sugar Zero has pushed so far in with those footsteps, they now know where he is. trying to hop away, trying to stay alive. He's been spotted by the recon. Classic is just not good enough. 5 players on the other side, all of them spamming at him, Will.
I do want to say, RRQ, you guys could really just like calm this down. It's a 5v1. I don't know, maybe at some point Sugar Zero's name turned into Scary and you're always afraid of the fact that he could clutch a 1v5, but
oh!
Well, yeah, okay, there we go. There we go. Let's calm things down.
Sheriff.
And they should have heard the drop as well.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, 2GE takes way too much damage. He's gonna have to back out.
Still gonna crouch. Shrouded steps into hell. Flips is here to pick up the pieces.
I mean, ZETA now has to consider, okay, if we're hearing backup fire right away, do we consider rotating? I mean, sure, it's just the eco, but
oh my god.
Sugar Zero is on one in the second half.
Just somehow able to track that down through the tracer. Now a bit of an extension with a dark cover, trying to
You rotate
force
now.
RRQ to think that they might be pushing through, but yeah, rotating.
That's to confidently go into mid.
That's it. Elmi Moore is still alive on the B side. He's got so much utility all over the place. He has to anchor this down for RRQ.
But they're
He's
swarming
got
him.
the Bulldog. They're jumping all over the place, and they manage to swarm it down. EJ arrives on time with the Vandal, and X-Pharaoh as well outside of B main. So back to a 2-on-2.
Yeah, but a Bulldog in the hands of Sugar Zero.
Very winnable for ZETA. He's watching some of these angles. Shoots out the drone now, but gets pinged. Oh, the wallbang is good. Crow, he's only got a classic. And surely they try to flush him out of position with that recon. X-Pharaoh gets the shot, and RRQ securing another win.
Well, Zephyros saw the stat line in halftime and said, I need to recover that one immediately.
Got the firepower. Can they fish out enough information to go for a good hit?
Ooh,
They're just trying to overwhelm Theo with the numbers now. Pink Shell's kind of knocking off the boxes, so it's not going to connect. And Laz, as the lurker, gets eliminated by Elmi Moore. 20 seconds left. 2GE, sight, dark cover, and he's just trying to play around it. Despite not quite having the firepower, they bought enough time, and there's so much pressure on Crow's shoulders. He doesn't hear him on top of Generator.
What a good...
For RRQ, so aware that they might go for something cheeky with this eco. They're playing far back and safe.
They don't know about the Bucky yet, though, and this could catch them by surprise on this retake.
Comes down to the position that 10 is holding, and he's just kind of hopping up and down underneath hell right
and the
now.
trap wires, they're all set up. RQ's frantically trying to clear this through the smokes, but they can't find it.
Oh, EJ, that's gonna be the first head gone. Deb getting the shots now, a second one coming through. 2GE coming into trade. Crow trying to land his, coming out from outside of hell, and Laz is still alive. But the spike has gotten halved, and he needs to go for the pick. Takes down Elmi Moore, but 2GE up close and personal gives him a loving hug.
But this, listen, if you're RRQ, you need to remember this is ready for the counter push. The late paranoia.
God, and he's doing it on his own. He manages to get the shots. The support coming out from 2GE. The pinch down onto ZETA. If it's that like tiny bit of movement, they can just find one pick and then back off. That could be good for ZETA. Then again, though, it's just a big push in through market. Cybercade's trying to block it off. Last able to trade, but still aware of Elmi Moore's position. Tries to hop through.
He crosses. He clears.
Wants to get the spike down. Depp is right around the off-angle corner just to assist. Running out of time, though, and RRQ can just hold out and wait. And now Depp tries to push. Last God, not quite. It's an eco without blades. Meanwhile, that one crunch play earns EJ his. Hunter's Fury now being sent out just to check, and it still catches on 10. Now it's going to be 2GE trying to provide a bit of cover for Elmi Moore, hiding around the site. Although he is pinged, still very much alive. Assistance has arrived on time, and now coming up from the top of heaven, but look at this Sheriff shot! Depp and Laz getting one each of their own. Coming out from the Fender spawn now, the Neuro gets some positioning awareness. And RRQ.
They know that he's alone. Yeah, that's why they challenge it. Yeah, that's why they challenge it, right? Because no matter whether you go B or A eventually, you know the Cypher is alone. So you take that fight while you have the timing. And now...
Still, though.
Depp picks up a stinger, which at this range, not the end of the world.
It's a similar.
Killjoy, you have all these ultimates for the retake. You also know ZETA has ultimates, so they purposely back out.
Yeah.
They stack A site, and now they're going to say trade ult for ult.
RRQ has the lead, right? So why not go for some of these trades? They still can secure as much as possible. In fact, this favors them if ZETA does decide to go for some of these trades. 10, though, being so close, has an option to actually go further in with the showstopper, but then Flips just shuts down, coming through with a flank. This secondary squad from RRQ is going to be a thorn in the sides for ZETA. Leading off with the Aldro now.
So much relies on 10.
Just crouch down.
They now worry about that angle.
Shot. Recon getting further information now coming out from xFaro. 10 fires off the showstopper, but it doesn't connect, and EJ has gotten into position. Crow trying to position and pivot off, but he can't quite make it happen with low HP. Sugar Zero just goes in for the spray though. Double, and he holds it down, just trying to buy more time. Swaps over the classic, but 2GE comes through.
No time, he's done it. Sugar Zero buys enough time with the extra classic right click. Even gets an
split. Comes down to the hole from RRQ. xFaro with the Odin trying to reposition. Lockdown now placed from Elmimore. And he's just trying to send signals to ZETA. Go away.
The thing is it doesn't push them entirely out, right? They had to place it so passively, and Flips can't peek in mid either. So
wait,
it's just a reset.
Oh, good little recon from xFaro though, but still not quite safe enough to fire a shot yet. And ZETA are just surrounding this area.
xFaro can't spam anymore. He has to make sure he doesn't reload right at the worst timing. They check to make sure that they're still waiting there. Yeah, they're actually just saying, ZETA, play your thing. This is a ZETA game. Wait until that last second.
Come at me, bro.
They're waiting for the recon as well. RQ's prepared for this.
There it is. They shoot it down. So no pings whatsoever. ZETA clears that it's not safe enough for us to hit this site. There are only 2 on the other, so we're gonna rotate instead.
But look at RQ's adjustment. They say
time.
I mean, sure. If they should have just enough time, I would think. But RQ says, well, let's leave it up to time. If not, we go for a 5v5 retake. Right?
God.
We just all back out and make sure that we can be the one that swarms the site again. They don't even actually go through spawn because they know that has to be someone waiting for that rotate.
Yeah, and that's gonna be
Sugar
gets checked
to the Odin at long range.
Oh god, Depp now with the bulldog so close. He hears those footsteps and he tries to pick off one, goes in for yet another, but Elmimore wallbangs him instead. Now it's gonna be 10 hiding around tree, still somewhat unchecked, but here comes xFaro. Oh, he fires it off. Oh, what a flick! What is this spray transfer? 2 down, and then Elmimore still cleans it up.
Oh man, 10. I mean, the blast back rate.
I mean, just so patient with that one play. Can ZETA find that one thrifty win to pull them back from the brink? xFaro, he's got his sights trained down. Anyone peeking out of stairs, anyone peeking out of lane. He's got his teammates there to cover as well. They're starting to fire down now. The RPM going over the edge. And ZETA still managing to close in the distance. Now picking up the weapons. We've swapped positions. 10 tosses the Odin over because he's low HP. RRQ trying to retake with the rifles. They've got the paranoia and it pushes ZETA back for a second. Depp trying to reposition. He's pulling out the recon, trying to give it a little bit more space. Sugar Zero playing off of it, and the tiny bit of movement finds it, turns it into a one-on-one. Flips is just dancing around this, and Depp is watching the spike. Turns back around though. Tracking aim is good. It cuts Flip in half.
An amazing throw.
Oh, xFaro.
This is all a timing. It's a timing.
Oh my god, Crow is trying to push into this. 10 seconds left and the spike has managed to arrive on site. Sugar Zero now coming out from B main, something that they maybe didn't quite expect, so he finds one for his troubles. 2 players from RQ still low, and EJ trying to stay alive around the button. The rest of them trying to push further in, but so many positions to clear. And last turns around, just runs and guns it while Sugar Zero peeks outside.
Very afraid of this potential showstopper. And ZETA, they clear with as much other utility so they can save it and he gets the kill!
A stray shot catches onto Flips' helm. And now the rest of them going in for trades outside of Heaven and Tree.
But what
ZETA are not committing.
Yeah, now here's what ZETA doesn't quite know is what the remaining weaponry looks like. Elmimor will be able to pick up that Bulldog again. Okay, so a rifle recovered. 2G's timing.
He saw the foot.
Oh. And 2G says, I'm not committing. If you're there, then most likely your teammates are covering you from another angle.
But then again, ZETA doesn't quite have as much info gathering utility. xFaroe firing off the Hunter's Fury. Oh no, actually, wait, it's going through. And now Elmimor actually gets a couple himself.
Scanning ahead.
The Hunter's Fury's traded.
What?
And I like it from both sides, quite frankly. Depp uses it because at the very least, they need information on where they're hiding for sure. They need to push them out so they can't use their run-and-gun weaponry. ZETA with just a Sheriff who will get to match point first.
Hops down over onto Generator, picks up the Stinger. Crow inside of Hell, and he's aware of A main too, but Crow's is a bit risky. Just around inside this dark cover. Now he sneaks into stairs. 10 pulls out the showstopper and looks for him, but he spins too much! Elmimor catches his head instead. Pop flash coming out from Crow. Going in to clear out the site. Lockdown, although deployed. It's gonna be ZETA on top of Dice. Finds a couple more headshots. EJ coming in. Sugar0 not quite able to break ZETA. Up on top of Heaven.
Paint shells are gone as well. You have to give it the site if you're ZETA. You have to wait for the retake.
And that's them backing off now. Crow positioned around tree, but forced to reposition back. Elmimor is just so good around that one spot. Here comes EJ. Wide swing into Laz. And the door's been shut.
And they waited to plant the spike just in case, so they had more members to fight. RRQ knew that the fast retake might happen.
One enemy remaining.
God. Elmimor in the lurk.
I mean, Depp
It's all up to
1v4.
Depp. And he's trying to go full turn mode.
ZETA needs to hide.
Spins around, but oh, the hop up onto the... His team is helping him so much, and he catches onto Tensei.
He's pinged. Elmimor needs to stick around, but Laz, he's stuck now.
Oh God, this is so oppressing for ZETA.
Oh, and they all get out. Wow.
Nobody's business too. It's the same thing that we've seen before. 15 seconds left. Sugar0 trying to push in through, and they might be able to get the spike down, but the retake protocols are in place. RRQ just waiting for the green light. Shorty outside of stairs, and Sugar0 is trying to anchor them down. Depp using the position that xFaroe used. Crow managing to find one.
I mean, even before that, this was advantageous for ZETA division, but now it's looking even better.
And RQ's just setting it up, but there it is. The first shot fired off. Coming outside from lane now. That's blocked. You're trying to go through. EJ, you're too low. And it's just down to this positioning. Sugar hops up. A split. Trying to block it off with dark cover.
They're drawing out a lot of the defensive utility, and they're happy to wait because they already have the double angle prepared.
Still trying to position outside of Heaven, though. It's a little bit risky, especially with RRQ pushing up, but 10 gets the shot anyway. EJ's gone. He's floored. xFaroe trying to reposition off of this now. They've closed off the door, trying to sell the idea that nobody is around tree. The spike goes down.
10's waiting for it.
Exactly. Just watching now for that one position. He has an inkling. But the thing is, the one thing that RRQ might not expect is Laz coming out from A main.
10's still waiting for it, but it's
Going
a timing
through now,
fight.
xFaroe! Oh, the spray transfer is good! Elmimor coming out from hell! Now recognizing that B side is the one that's less fortified, they go in for the crunch on Elmimor.
30 seconds.
He's got his utility though, and they clear it out with the shock dart. Elmimor, do you have what it takes?
Oh no. They know exactly where he is.
Trying to hop around, but the paint shells is gonna be tough. Laz clears out the flank too. Here comes Pro, here comes 10, and Elmimor is gone. 15 seconds. They should be able to get the spike down. Coming through though, flips from Market.
But the door's closed.
Uji E from spawn.
remaining.
Right. Presence known. And Death.
I mean, off of that is...
Oh, but here comes the dark cover, so this should confirm it. And Depp has an Odin, which they might not be aware of. If he gets the right timing on this, if he gets the information, the sprays could be good. But here comes EJ. Tailwind prop. He comes in to save his team for a second. Fragment takes out EJ though. And then the Glass. Look at how slippery he's being with this. Hiding on the other side of the cyber cage. Gets the first one, trying to track it across, but Elmior takes him instead. Sugar Zero comes in for the trade, but 2GE takes him down from the stairs. 10.
30 seconds
He's got a boom bot.
There's so much time to work with.
HP. He swaps over to the shorty.
Because he guesses it.
2G
He
is just
guesses
playing
the
it
box.
safe.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's coming back.
He saw the
Spots him, and now he knows that 2G is trying to play it safe. He needs to go for the spike plant. 10 is trying to be patient about this.
Knows where it
Shroud
is.
a step. Okay,
Oh.
that should confirm everything he needs to know. Boombot goes through, and all you need is one headshot. One to give your team the win on defense. 2GE trying to play it safe too. Not wanting to pull out utility. 10 slowly inches up back, tries to find the angle, but dropping down 2GE! So accurate! And they might not check him. Just hiding him from Gelato, but Sugar Zero kind of had an idea.
Maybe he saw his barrel. I mean, he was so accurate on that peak.
And that's the first step. One opening pick, and then they pump on the brakes again. 1 minute left on the timer.
I mean, time is absolutely in favor of ZETA, because without the Sova for RRQ, they have to choose either a stack or spread yourselves in, and neither one feels good. So eventually they have to commit to that Elmior singular hold on A site again. They're banking on B because that's where ZETA's been going every single time.
Cage triggered.
And they would be right. Flips though on the market. He's still alive, still kind of presence known. 2GE now trying to anchor. It's the same spot. It's 10 too, but up close and personal this time. 10 takes the pick.
2v4,
One
but the
enemy
showstopper
remaining.
comes online. I mean, Elmior, no matter how good your aim is, there's 4 enemies and a rocket launcher. Yeah, it's just for
Recon.
time. He just uses it for time. Just don't come into the site. You're not winning, and we're going another round.
Help me more. The world against him. He still tries. Has to go for it anyway. Down from stairs, slowly clears all the angles, but it's a single tap.
Still gonna try to clear it though.
All right, that does do the trick. Cyber cage propped up. Oh, and
no.
it's the fragment that kills Def.
Yeah, probably just a shot through as well to really secure it because he died to 1 tick. But the camera, not shown just yet. They're saving it for the retake.
Oh, but it's been spotted now. One player inside of B main, and ZETA should be aware of this.
Zapero's on the run,
oh,
though.
Look at him. Wrapping ring around the rosy. ZETA just has no choice but to push up front. They need to clear out Boathouse first. But look at this hold from Elmior.
Enemy remaining.
Double kill first, and then EJ to clean things off. Push then. You smoke off the door, you smoke off the off angle, but then EJ arrives outside of heaven. They try to clear it, 0 points.
It
But it's
works.
a blind shot from Elmior that takes them down. Now the spike has been dropped. They pick it up, they go back in, plant the spike, but they've lost one teammate. One set of utility.
Paranoia is
10.
still available for 2G
10.
as well. 10.
He's going
The
in,
timing.
what? Oh, with the Phantom Sprays, but it doesn't quite connect. Elmior now has the advantage. This could be RRQ's round, Will. And they're going in for it. Every player up on top of heaven looking to watch well down, but Death! Oh, it's a double spray. 2G answers back with a shot of his own. Sugar Zero now inside of hell, trying to fire it off, but the shorty does the trick. We're back to a one-on-one. And Laz on the other side goes for a jump peek, but
He's
it's
gonna
the dark
stick it.
cover that blocks it out. 2G
Oh
tries
my
to stick,
God.
but a strange shot catches him in. For record-breaking
Oh no, the timing.
series
Oh,
now,
no.
but
Oh, they
the
didn't see him.
flashpoint. EJ still flicks on a dime though, and then Elmior coming in with that support from Tiles. Now in towards mid, Xpero leapfrogs off of it. It's all down to Laz. This is the first time in a while that we're seeing a huge lead from RRQ.
Yes, and I was about to mention that. I'm glad you brought it up because while we're still tied up, and I mean, not that you ever want to count Laz out when he's absolutely fragging out, but RRQ's really finding the momentum. Even that previous round, RRQ was trying to just really press the issue. I mean, he's cornered, nowhere to go. But
To
once he goes,
activate.
yeah, once he goes to market,
Okay. Flips. It's gonna be Flips pop flashing on his own. 10 seizes that opportunity.
I mean, they had the paranoia as well, and he still couldn't get the kill. 2G thankfully stable. 2G needs to wait. He needs to just wait because once he shot that drone from heaven, it pretty much signifies, unless it's some crazy trap play, that it's empty. And of course, the trap wires are broken now, so ZETA very well aware of this potential flank.
Laz. Oh, they're trying to block off heaven, but they gotta be aware of tree. 2GE, now they're coming through. EJ prepping up the tailwind. They want to go in fast, and ZETA might not be prepared. Sugar Zero on the side of Generator, Death inside of Hell. They hear those steps. They hear those teleports, trying to go in for the peaks, but it's not good enough. RRQ, they might be the ones to bring it over the edge, unless Death can do something about it. Fortis, Fortuna, Achivat. Fortune favors the bold. Triple kill now outside of Death, and the quad. Another overtime. Pop flash up in the top of the air, and it's EJ looking for this A execute up on top of Generator. He takes down Sugar Zero, sinks him into the bottom of the ocean. The rest of them trying to retake, but
Sparrow
without
again.
the numbers.
And he's going on that flank again. He's going on the whimsical journey once again.
Oh, I'm coming up from behind you.
Player standing.
And with that, not even needed. The rest of RRQ just holding down this. Xpharaoh is still there. Last, here's the hops. He should be. Gets the shot.
But do they?
Right,
No,
here comes
the
the
timing!
Pharaoh. Oh, spotted by Sugar Zero.
Can he stay alive?
He's gonna try. The rest of them arriving out from defender spawn, but Spike should go down.
30
Crow
seconds
still
left.
has quite a bit of utility, so does Sugar Zero. And the rest of them just planting their flag, planting their boots down. To push the back of sight. Oh, what? The wall bang out of nowhere.
And then Sugar Zero on the flank this time, just like Zephyro always has done.
A tiny trip too. And now just waiting for it. Sudden peeks out. Depp gets the trade. Oh, but the flash. Crow, now you've got to do it. Depp's gone. Another flash available at his belt. And he tosses it out.
Sugar
Sugar.
Zero. The flank.
Switch up his trips too. Oh, this time the shock dart doesn't clear it. The second one doesn't either. It's meant to block off the door button. And Laz goes, oh, but he's been spotted now.
Yeah, but here's the thing, only EJ gets over this. So if they can keep him at that switch, he's not gonna be able to do much damage.
All they need to do is buy enough time. Laz and Depp, they
Depp.
managed to do it. Depp is still alive. Now
Zephyro's
hiding
taking
inside
him
this
as well.
dark cover. Oh, Sugar Zero. He's going back into it. They've got the numbers now. 2G can't quite plant the spike, but he's swinging out anyway. Crow, close in here to aid you.
Flipshutter has to find a good timing. He has to try to go for these pop flashes, and ZETA does not want that. They're trying to push him off as far as possible.
Oh my. What's
but
similar?
ZETA, what a good play. You have a minute left. You took entire control of mid, and you say, okay, what's the setup from RRQ? Is there a lurk coming out from A main? Because if we catch that lurk, it's such an easier round. But here's the thing. In hindsight, this could be an overcook.
That's the thing. You're spending so much time for this. It's similar to that lockdown round that we saw from before. RRQ are just welcoming, begging for ZETA to challenge them.
But in theory, this guarantees them the 4 or 5v2 on B. And
Oh,
that's what they're
Laz.
looking for, and he gets the kill. Laz.
2G answers right
30
back.
seconds left.
And we're back to where we started, back to square one.
But now you know that you have the numbers advantage in B.
Suppressed. Oh, but the shot from Elmi Moore. And it just comes down to this boathouse position. They're dancing back and forth for it. They know they're up on lane, waiting for them to drop. 15 seconds left. How do you plant the spike? Depp trying to get the sprays, but Crow going too deep in. The spike carrier killed. A sight.
Oh, that's a good one.
But EJ's not going through a main, sir.
Yeah, that could actually just sit there the whole round and not find any value.
Cage trigger.
He activates them, tries to slip back around.
He just needs to stay alive. Wait for his teammates to cover him from
2G
heaven.
though, up around from the side. Oh, Laz able to get the first, but the heaven positioning wasn't good enough. Sugar Zero not quite able to land the shot, and this gives RQ the sight.
So recon bolt, shock dart, double flash drives, and then paint shells and boombot as well. You have a lot of utility. You're down in numbers, but you have a lot of utility. But the thing is, this Zephyro flank,
Yes.
they died to it before, and they're so concerned about it.
And it's Elmi Moore too. I mean, they're
the whole
always
team.
around tree. If they push up heaven, it's so tough for ZETA, and that's why they're so slow through this.
Yeah, they're like, wait, where is
Having
everyone?
to watch the angles. Oh,
What?
but this time,
Well, there they
Crow,
are.
Depp at 10. They find the shots anyway. The last player is a Pharaoh, not quite able to do any damage. And ZETA wins a defense round one more time.
Well, you put 8, so it's really anybody's game. Everyone knows exactly what's happening now. Oh no, the 0 point.
Oh, Elmi Moore. 15 seconds.
Flips can't provide support. The fragment.
Spike's got to go through. Oh, but Flips just outside the edge of the dark cover finds a shot anyway. The spike will go down, however. And now Sugar Zero trying to watch for the angle. The trip goes through. Last finds the shot. And Depp's pulling out utility, trying to fend them off, trying to catch a wall bang. But EJ tries to go for the crouch spray instead. Trades come through, and we're back to a 2-on-2.
With how so low on
Dares
RQ.
wins. They're so darn low, but they need the shots anyway. ZETA are just hunkering down in Boathouse. Come to me.
But 2G's creeping
One
close.
more shot, and he gets the first. Depp, he's the last one. Flips is trying to tap it, trying to bait out the peaks, but he rushes at the last second, and Depp, the child of God, forces ZETA over. One best of 3, our very first day in this double elimination bracket, and this is what we have. Oh, the next series is just going to be even more insane, but again, the win for ZETA, it means so much. ZETA and their story with how they kind of missed their shot at Masters Tokyo, now redeeming themselves.
Yeah, and that's the important part, because here's the thing. For RRQ, they were a team that started to show promise, but everyone said, okay, it was